Hi, I'm Ajoya from AJ Excursions.
Hi, and I'm Naj from Freaking Fresh.
And together we are Village Vibes. Welcome home. So you can find us at One Village Vibe on Instagram and also One Village Vibe on Facebook. And you now can find us at Village Vibes, VIBEZ.com. Okay? So look, VIBEZ.com, villagevibes.com. You can find me at AJ__ excursions on Instagram. And you can find me at Joy AJ Excursions on Facebook.
You can find me at Freaking Fresh on Facebook. And you can find me at Natural Impressions, NATURALNPRESSIONS on Instagram. And we have with us today Mr.
Mo.
Hey, Village Vibes.
Or Makai. So
yeah, right, whatever.
Go,
Village Vibes, put the V's up for the village.
The village.
We might get sued. That's the next.
Okay. Get it right. I can't do it just doing it. I gotta hold my fingers together.
You gotta hold your fingers. Village Vibes. So Village Vibes.
Yeah, see, she can do it. I can't do it. Oh, I can do it this hand.
I'm a cracky.
There you go. Village Vibes. There you go. Village Vibes. What I'm talking about. Right.
So, thank you for being with us today. We are in what, like week 1 million of COVID? I think it's like 1 million at this point. I don't even know. Don't know. I just know it started March 13th and we are now June 11th. Yeah. Wow. That's all I know. Right? So today we're going to have a woman and man's conversation about life, energy, perspectives, because we love hearing what a man has to say to learn, to grow, to be better friends, better sisters, better aunts, better mothers, better lovers, right? So we're just going to have this kind of conversation and enjoy it today. So Mo, I'm coming to you.
I see that.
Let's have a conversation. So let's talk about energy. Let's talk about a man's energy. What is that? Like, explain to us, how do we share energy and what does that look like and what does that sound like?
Okay, when we speak in energy, from a male and a woman's perspective, a male is a positive ion and a woman is a negative ion, which is in reference to the woman multiplies. So she has to absorb the energy that the man gives to her. So if the man gives her his seed, she absorbs the seed and then she transmutes it and creates a whole human. So this is why she has to be the negative ion, because the negative is going to pull away. So she has to take from the man from that perspective. But now when we talk about energies, we got a variation of them because it's based on your zodiac, what your sun sign is, your rising sign, your moon sign, because we have interaction with planetary energies. For prime example, I'm a Taurus. My ruling planet is Venus, which we just came out of a Venus retrograde. Venus is over love, beauty, finance, love, things like that. So when these planets are going counterclockwise, it'll affect my life in regards to relationships, regardless of love. And this goes for men and women alike. So when we talk about energies,
wait a minute. I want to ask you a question. So for people listening, how do you find out where your zodiac and where do you fall into? How do you find that out?
The way you do it is you need to have a copy of your certificate of live birth, or either know what time you were specifically born, and then you can do what's called a natal chart. So you'll put in like they have apps online. You put in the city, the time of birth, and the day, and then it'll tell you what your sun sign is, because the sun sign represents your external and the moon represents the internal, the emotional aspects of you and all that. So everyone has two perspectives. So I'm Taurus and I'm like Taurus, but I'm Aries rising. So I'm basically a combination of earth energy and fire together. But
Okay.
at the same time, if you go look through the zodiac, the compatibility is different, from sign to sign. So that's very
Okay.
important, as well as the as well as energy between a man and a woman, because it's a lot of variables that's in there that make up this whole thing that you're calling energy.
Okay. So that means, Naja, we got homework to do. We need to go find out, because I just know I'm a Scorpio. That's all I know. I don't know
Right,
anything else.
but you need, when you get the time of birth, they'll tell you. They'll be like, your sun sign is Scorpio, and then your moon sign will be whatever. And then when you look at yourself, you can compare the traits, because we're here. Everything's energy. That's why they call it emotions. Emotions is energy in motion. So
Okay.
yeah, so pretty much that's very important. That's why we call it knowledge of self. And that's one of the beginnings of knowledge of self, is to know thyself. Know your sign, know your weaknesses. You also can get a reading that will tell you like your life path, your expression number, if you're a master builder. And this gives you a better understanding of who you are, so that you can be more effective in other people's lives. And then your children and loved ones, if you do their homework on them, you'll know better how to communicate and get the most out of those relationships.
Okay. Well, thank you for teaching me something today. Okay. Okay. I'm about to go look up. I need to know what my other signs are. Naja, do you know yours?
I swore it was a Leo and a Cancer.
Wow, that's a great. What you mean? That's a great combo. You got the Cancer with the emotional and family oriented. Leo already has that. Leo has a little bit of kids usually love Leos. Leos are like family. They bring everything together. So it's kind of a great balance. Because with Leo, you rule by the sun, so it's a lot of masculine energy there for Leo, specifically women, because the sun is male energy, and then you're a female. So it's kind of like you get the best of both worlds. You know, you'll say what you ain't supposed to say, but everybody accepts it because that's how it goes, pretty much.
Both my parents,
Okay, well I think that's on point. So that makes a whole lot of sense. So Cancer and Leo. I need to find out mine. I'm gonna find this out. I'm finding this out, y'all.
Yeah.
yes, but both of my parents are Cancer, so I was like,
Wow.
I don't want that.
My dad's a Cancer, and her father's a Cancer. My dad's a Cancer.
So they family oriented, right? They're about family, like
Yeah.
old school, like old fashioned, right?
And my mom's a Taurus.
Oh, okay. We know that. Love real hard. Yes, I'm very familiar with Taurus. Love hard, stubborn. Treat you good though. Treat you good. But when you get on that bad side, it's over. Just like you as a Scorpio, same thing. Sweet as pie to the other side. That's the part nobody sees.
Whatever. I'm just
That's the
sweet as
hidden part.
pie. Anyway.
You don't want to meet her.
Okay. So you're saying we have negative energy, and I love when you said you deposit seed. So does that mean, are we just referring to literal giving of life, or can you broaden that?
Okay, so whatever you put into a woman's hand, if she understands who she is, I'm not going to say collectively across the board that everybody's, qualified or everyone has this understanding. But if she understands her power and her gifts, she can take it and multiply it. It's just like when mama used to go to the cupboard and there was no food in there, but she make a full course meal. That same narrative runs with the woman. She can take the least and make the most. That's kind of like her power. That's kind of like the thing that makes her what she is. So if a man comes to you and he gives you information or he gives you knowledge, you're gonna turn it to wisdom. So the whole, the man, woman, and child, that whole concept. It's like, if you, just like you said, sometimes you could just speak to your woman and she'll listen and you don't even know she's listening, and then she's gonna bring these things forth. So if you're in a relationship, and you guys are a team, you want to invest in that woman, because now there's certain doors that she can walk through that you can't walk through. But then there's doors you can walk through and open for her. And then once she get in there, pretty much it's like game over. Because, you know, woman to woman is one thing, but woman versus man is a whole nother ball.
And that makes perfect sense about us being absorbent. And when you said women listen and then they just show up with stuff, that's why that's why I had such issues. I could hear somebody say something and I would decipher that they had a need. Joy does it all the time too. And then what do? We go and we want to take care of the need, even if you didn't ask. We got from your conversation what you needed, what you wanted, and then I guess that's the nurturing part of us.
It is. And I love that, you know, but even more so, like, just taking ideas, birthing ideas. So it's really like you're saying, it's giving birth. It just may not be to the physical child, but it's a child of, as far in form of a business, or as buying a house, or, you know, the car, or whatever it is giving that knowledge and letting her birth it. So that's an interesting, you know, thought of the sharing of energy. I never thought of it that way, or, you know, put it in that terms, but it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. So, and with energy, let's talk about what energies clash. How do energies clash? How do we decipher that, the clashing of energies?
I would, one perspective I would say is, if the person is, let's say they're negative and you're positive, you're upbeat, everything comes out of your mouth is life, it's love, it's light, and they're at a different place. They're at a place of hurt. They're at a place of pain, mental anguish, depression. Um, it's that clash would be, and usually in these situations, the people pull you down. You usually don't pull them up. Most of the time, if you go around somebody who's depressed, if you're not mentally strong, or you're not, I won't say necessarily a healer or a life coach, then you may empathize, and their issue may become your issue. So now you're off the phone with this person, and you're sitting up and you're thinking about their problem. Oh my God, this happened. Oh my God, that's energy transfer. So now you've traded in your positive for their negative, and now you're walking around with the negative. And the thing about it is, we need to learn how to remove these things from us, because some people are victims of their own circumstances. So if this individual's depressed, well, what did that person do to go to that place? And now you may be sacrificing your peace and your happiness. Like it says, if you want to save souls, you got to go to hell. So sometime when we go to try to help people, those same people we going to help, they'll hurt us, because hurt people hurt people. But when we talk, but in reference to talking about energy, it's depression is like a spirit. It's like an energy. Happiness is also like an energy. So if you could come around a certain person and say, man, when I'm around you, your energy is amazing. And you got the other person, you come around, man, your energy sucks all the time. Because yeah, it's the truth. Because even though we all have dark spots and dark patches, we have to learn how to, balance the energy out. It's a time to be sad. It's a time to be depressed, but it's not something that should take you over completely. Because this is why you have to work on yourself. Because can people really pull you out of depression? I've had friends and people I've known that was depressed, and they closed themselves off from the world. Yeah. They're just, by themselves, crying, and you really don't want to see nobody when you're at that place. But when you kind of have an understand, you have control over your emotions, you have control over your thoughts. You're a computer, you absorb. Right. You're gonna pick up crap. So you gotta know how to cleanse yourself off. Spiritual baths, sage. Go ahead.
I was there you go. You're going right into it. I was just gonna ask, people think of having spirits, negative spirits or energy attached to them from dead people who've passed, but we never think about it with the living. And then right. I'm going to ask, how would you say we could protect ourselves and or cleanse ourselves of the energy that we don't want attached to us?
Okay, well,
good question.
Some people, they you can sage. Sage only lasts for a certain amount of time. I don't want to say collectively like a day or so, but sage is a consistent thing. And it would be cleaning, you know, the negative entities off of you, but you also want to do things to kind of reprogram your mind, because we're computers. So I was talking to a person maybe about a week ago, and he was like, you know, one thing could go wrong and his whole day is done. And I explained to him, I said, the reason why, when you woke up in the morning, you didn't create your day. You didn't start speaking the things of how your day should go. You know, you want to do positive affirmations. Today's going to be an amazing day. I'm thankful for life in my lungs and my loved ones and this and that. I'm thankful for my career, job, whatever. And today's going to be this way. Today's going to be positive. I'm not going to have arguments. That girl that I don't like in accounting, she's not going to get on my nerves today. So the most important thing is you you cleansing, but you have to do what's called shadow work, or the mental cleansing.
Mhm.
And some of those things that assist, one of them is meditation, but it's also meditation with stones. Meditation with stone. This here is a skull, but this is jet. If you look close, it's jet, and jet absorbs. So it absorbs negative energy. Now you got to clean this stone a lot, but at times when I was depressed, or I had negative feelings, or I was feeling tortured by my lower self from my past or the mistakes I made, I would hold this stone and I would imagine all my negative thoughts and negative things going into the stone. And it wasn't a one-time thing. It was, you know, meditation all the time, till it got to the point where I could control the thoughts in my mind. And once I could control the thoughts, now I could control my energy and my emotions. Because if I'm sad, I need to go to a happy place. Maybe close my eyes and think about when I was 8 years old, riding my big wheel down the street. That can take me from a negative place to a positive place. So just
Okay.
like past things can hurt you, you can go back to past places when you at a happier time and relive that energy in the
Mm.
present.
So that's, I think you said something poignant, is changing your mindset,
Yes.
changing what you're thinking, changing what you're saying. And you said something, you have to do it every day. Some people don't realize that they have to speak life into themselves every day. Every day is almost like you're going in a battle. So every day you have to say, I am, I'm worthy, I am beautiful, I'm not going to argue. And for me, I pray. So every morning I pray and I thank God for waking me up. I thank God for health, family. I pray over my friends. I pray over my students. I pray over my clients. I pray over everything. But I also claim, like you just said, I claim today. I claim today is going to be great. I claim today, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to laugh. And no matter what that day brings, I will be okay. And I'm thankful for everything. So it's affirming yourself and affirming your life every day. And a lot of people don't realize how powerful words are.
Yes.
And it's so funny because you know that's something that I've always done with other people, put into other people and taught them how to, build your esteem, whatever. But Joy knows she's good at this claiming your day thing. She's good at it. Me, not so much. I need to work on that because almost every day she said argue. I thought that was for me. Okay. Like I need to go in there. Like today is going to be a good day. And some days I wake up and I'm able to do it and claim it. But a lot of times, I'm glad to be alive, and that's I stop right there, and I need all the help and armor I can get. I need something. I need something.
But it is an armor. It's a powerful armor because we have life and death in the power of our tongue. Right. So that energy that comes out of your mouth can stop things in its tracks, because otherwise you open yourself up for attack. You open yourself up. And another thing that we forget, a moment is not your day.
Right.
You argue with the cashier at Tops. That was a 5-second moment, but we don't know how to shake that energy off. We don't know how to say that was negative energy for those 5 seconds, 5 minutes, but we still have 23 hours and 58 minutes
Sometimes,
to still have a good day. We take that 5 seconds and it's like,
and
it's over.
yeah,
Today is over. I'm having a bad day. Instead of saying it was a bad moment, I'm still going to have a great day. I'm still going to have a great, evening or a great night or a great, the rest of my day. We don't know how to let that energy go.
but sometimes we don't even recognize that it's someone else's energy. Sometimes we
Yes.
that incident with the cashier, we think that's our bad day, and it might not be. It could be their energy. It might not have anything to do with your fantastic day that you're going to continue to have. So that is hard to decipher whether this is what's going on with me or whether that's somebody else's energy. That is true.
It is. And another thing about other people's energy that I'm thinking about what you're saying is that when we encounter bad energy, we take it personal and we attack. Right. Versus saying, you have bad energy, you have negative energy. Even if we don't say it to them, we don't think to speak over them. Speak the words, speak positivity over them, saying, I know that cashier in Tops is having it rough, because we don't know what she just went through that morning to get to work, right? Or whoever we encounter. And instead, we need to say, you're gonna be okay, right? I'm gonna speak, positive or peace over the rest of your day. Or I pray that whatever she's going through is not the end, is going to be a breakthrough or whatever. We don't think about things like that. We take negative energy, especially when we encounter it, and we take it personal. We make it about ourselves versus trying to speak over someone else, because it's not easy to do, because when people attack you, it's personal. But we need to learn how to take that energy and give them back positive energy to combat with the negative energy that they are giving off of what they're going through. Is that possible? Can we? I think it is.
I would say, in my opinion, with those, if the person is very toxic and they're very negative, and every time you're around them, they bring that negativity, that's somebody that relationship no longer suits you. Okay. When you talk about random encounters, like at the grocery store, you're absolutely right. Because, she's been dealing with probably negative energy all morning long, and then you just came through her line, and, you're just the straw that broke the camel's back. But when you come to a place of knowing, you understand who you are, when somebody gives you negative energy, you're not going to give it back, because think about it. It's like if I throw a ball of energy at you, you got two options. You can take it and it can stay, or you can move and let it bypass. Right. Now, an experienced person can take that negative energy and transmute it into positive and use it. Most people are not trained in that way, and they don't understand. That's why they take it personal. It's a difference. If somebody come to me and they're like, oh man, this happened, I say, bro, it's gonna be all right, man. This too shall pass. Don't even trip. Because look, I didn't give him the energy back. I dissipated it. But as soon as the person go, oh my God, you're right, today is a suck day, then other people around you start saying the same thing. Today sucked. Oh, this sucked. Just think about it. At the water cooler, one person talk about something bad, the next person about something bad. Now everybody talking about something bad. Now in that situation, I'll just get out the way, because like minds attract one another. Right. Negativity gonna attract negativity. Now when they see you positive, you the light, they hungry. So now I need some of your energy. Here, take this negative, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you give them the negative energy back, where's your positive at? You see how they traded positions with you. So they said this negative thing to you, planted that thing in your head, put it in your mind, and then they walked away. Now, if you don't know how to get that off you, you stuck with this thing on you because they left, and you don't have an opportunity to send it back. So that's where these crystals and these meditations come into play, because when you come home from work, you need to detox your mind. You need to cleanse your mind of all the things of that day, because that day is over. If the information don't suit you, you got to put it in like your computer. You got to put it in the recycling bin and get rid of it, because the next day is not going to be like yesterday. And if it is, you're depressed. If you're focused on your past, you're depressed. If you focus on your future, you have anxiety. That's why you got to live in the now. You have to be in the moment right now. You can't think about yesterday or tomorrow. The future don't exist because you ain't there yet.
So you just said something about crystals. What do you mean by that? What's going on with crystals? What's that?
Okay, so pretty much the whole universe is all mental. And we have inside of our bodies what's called a chakra system. It's the 7 major. I'm not about to make this all about a chakra class, but you got, the 7 main ones. They categorize by colors. They got names, root chakra, solar plexus, heart. I mean, I can name them all, but let your viewers do some homework. So if you have blockages in specific chakras, it's going to affect you emotionally. Okay,
Okay.
so with a woman, a woman's intuition would be in her solar plexus, which is her gut, as in to follow her gut. The color represented by that would be yellow. So yellow stones would definitely correlate right to the solar plexus chakra. So the same thing, the third eye is represented by the color purple. So the stone amethyst, which is purple, correlates with that chakra. Now, when your viewers go and they look it up, they'll notice like, oh, okay, I got emotional deficiency. Well, how do I have it? Okay, I had a childhood trauma, so this chakra's blocked. You can go online and get this right here. This is called black kyanite. This heals and clears all the chakras. Now, what's the significance of your chakras being together? It's so the energy can flow through your body in a consistent way because you have an auric field outside of your body. It's maybe 50 feet around and above you. So that's why you ever been in a place that somebody walk in, you're like, man, their energy sucked because they're in your auric field. So cleansing your chakras is going to align you and get you back in tune with nature so that you won't have those deficiencies. Like it's not like a alchemical dysfunction in the mind. It's more of a your system's not running correctly. Like the
Okay.
energy's not coming through the chakras because your root chakra is for survival. That's the one that make you go get the job. That's fight or flight. The third eye is more for visions, more downloads. You know how when you come up with your plan or whatever that you're gonna go on the trip, don't you see the vision? Like you don't
Yes.
physically see it. Right. So that's your third eye working, creating the blueprint. Then you take your hand and you write it down to make it reality. So you pull it from your mental into the physical. So
Okay.
cleansing your chakras allows the same thing. But just like you pull that positive into your reality, you can pull negative. Oh, today's going to be a crap day. Today, so this. Boom. Guess what? Today is going to be a crap day because, like you said, life and death is in the tongue. So I just spoke it as my reality. We're
Okay.
responsible for our reality.
We really are, and I think more people. I do a vision board every year, and I write everything down so I can look at it. I want to see it, and I put no. I haven't done this in a while, but I used to put different sayings up on my wall. So when I walk by them, like worry is the misuse of imagination, right?
Wow, that's dope.
I love that quote. Worrying is the misuse of imagination, because when you're worrying, you're not using your mind. Because when you worry, we create so many scenarios, right? But
Right.
imagine if you took that same without worrying, but created all these scenarios as a positive, right? So I do all these different sayings to make sure I feed back into me. Or when you go into my house and my living room wall, I have different sayings up on the wall. In my office at the school, I have different plaques of different sayings, positive things, because I believe in words, and I believe when people read them, even if they're not believing them at that moment, it said something to them. They still read it and it came into them. So that's
Right.
how I like to share words. So Naj, he just talked about energy and crystals. What do you know about crystals?
I know that I'm sitting here, I'm like, I need all that because my entire aura, being, chakras, everything out of whack. I'm emotionally blocked, and it's almost like when you're blocked, what you thought you knew, you don't know. It's like, wait, what? I don't even know who I am anymore. Like I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like I need all of that, all of it. I have a blockage. I don't know where it is. I have a creative blockage, and I have a blockage, emotional blockage, disconnect that I've got to heal. That's why I wanted to speak to Mo, because I needed something to spark me get me going, like light a fire under my ass to, dig a little deeper and see what I need to do. And I don't think it's just about me reclaiming my space. Um, I've been writing as some type of therapy, but also I think I need I need to bring tools in. That's why I need that amethyst. I need a whole lot of stuff because I'm out of whack, out of
Okay.
and even meditating. Sometimes I'll meditate in the car if I have to. But I'm having a real problem. And see, some people have their go-to places and the things they did to get themselves back a lot, get themselves realigned. But with this situation, thank goodness it's easing up a skosh. With this situation, how do you get yourself aligned on the fly? Like, is there something you can do to just try to kickstart? Should I just take all the Christmas, shove them in my pocket? Like, what am I doing?
Well, what you're talking about is shadow work. So
Mhm.
what you would have to do is you would have to sit down with a piece of paper by yourself, obviously, and you're gonna write the internal issues that you feel that you've never addressed. So if it was something, maybe an abandonment issue from childhood, or maybe a negative event with a past lover, and these things left scars, which we call them dark facets. They're called dark facets because they kind of hinder your progression forward in other, because a romantic relationship can also affect family relationships because it's still a relationship. You're just adding a different level of intimacy. So the first thing is you should commend yourself, because the first step to getting healed is acknowledging that there's something here, and we all have deficiencies. How you think I know about the stones? How do you think? Because your first person that you do it, you heal or you serve is yourself. So if you don't live the lifestyle, like prime example, this selenite piece, you can put this in your auric field and it'll heal what's called auric tears, because if you, as time progresses, with the profession that you guys are in, you're dealing with negative energies, you're dealing with negative people. So if you don't know how to detox when you come home, you're going to go to sleep, it's going to stay, and it's just going to keep building. So the first step, meditation, is cool because that's control over your mind. But I would say probably daily affirmations. And when you start feeling the kind of way, like if you start feeling inadequate, you want to go by yourself. Listen, I'm more than enough. I'm adequate. My past is my past. My past don't determine my future. That was a lesson or a blessing. You have to literally coach yourself through these circumstances, because nobody else knows you like you know yourself. And sometimes we don't even know ourselves. So these tools that I'm showing is so you can do it in private and you don't have to go tell somebody your business, because you can't be transparent with everyone, because some people will take your weaknesses and they'll use them against you. So you
Right.
got to keep that in mind as well. So like I said, I would start maybe with a dream board, so you have a short-term goal, so you have something, because the creator gives you a blueprint. That's the dream. So you take that blueprint and you implement it. That's all it's for. So if you have that short-term goal, if you want to conquer anger, you have to be conscientious of conquering anger, so that when you get in a situation at the grocery store with a cashier, you say, oh, wait, I'm working on anger. And that's pretty much it. It's like you become your own counselor instead of picking up the phone asking somebody else to help you fix you when only you can fix you.
Right.
Mm.
Right. I was looking online to purchase stones or crystals. And let me tell you something. They're like sold out. Like, it's hard to find. Everybody's trying to self-heal. Everybody. People who don't believe in it is still getting it, just in case. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to, yes, stay just protected, you know.
But that's a good thing, because so many people right now, I think COVID exposed a lot.
Yeah.
COVID exposed a lot. It exposed people to being um, what their, insecurities, their fears, their worries, right? It exposed people saying, wait a minute, I've had dreams, but now I'm sitting here, I've had these dreams, I didn't act on them. So I'm
Right.
sitting here with nothing, and I'm not working. And, because at first, we thought the world was going to end in April. The world was coming to an end. So people started getting afraid, like, I didn't do anything, I didn't accomplish, and I'm sitting here and now look at what's going on with the world. You know, so I think that's why, Naj, a lot of people were like, they're scrambling.
Right. You know, I'm sitting here listening to you talk, and I just had this epiphany. So this COVID, I created something called COVID Connection, where I help my male counterparts release anxiety, whatever is the most natural way. And then I'm just realizing, I'm absorbent. So I'm taking it all in. I'm stealing from them. And I'm trying, and wait, I'm taking the energy because I'm trying to repair myself and I'm using them. And it just put in me just now that, oh, that's why I've been on that. And then I started doing other things outside of that and became less interested in, I'm going to say, draining them. I mean, I put in the people, I put in the men, but I intend to drain you. Not in a bad way. But I want to take, and I'm so serious. Like, and I'm just listening to you, and Joy, she helped me kind of get into it because she knows vision boards. I'm done. Like, I can't do them. Now I can spit out shit, a million ideas. I can create things. I can do all types of stuff. Cannot do a vision board to save my life. Cannot. Have tried, get straight stuck. I'm like, what? Joy and I'm like, later for this. It is so difficult. I could say my vision board might be for the day. That's how much in the moment I am. You know?
But you're taking it, I think you always take it too literal, because your vision board could be just a month vision board. What is your vision board for the month of July? What is your vision board for the month of August? And then you can start doing what is your vision board for the next 2 weeks? What do you want to get done in the next week? What do you want? And so you, instead of taking it, if making it for a year is too broad,
right?
You got to shorten it to making it to where you can see it and it works for you. It could be every 5 days that you do a vision board. Even if you do it on your phone, you write it down saying, okay, for the next 5 days, I want to paint, write, and whatever, right? So you know in those 5 days, that is your goal. Then if you can get 2 out of the 3 done, that's success, right? So you do your next 5 days, right? And then you speak over your life and you're saying, I have to get this done, not for anyone, but for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Your camera's out. Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like, I can do that. I get stuck with the actual writing of it. I can have it in my head. I can
but in your head it doesn't work because it gives you an excuse. You can say, like, in your head, you can say, I didn't write it down, so it's not actually something I'm going to do. It's like you don't have to hold yourself accountable because it wasn't written down anywhere. For it. Like, you can't walk by a wall and see it. So therefore, you sit up here, you like, you know, no one saw this vision board. No one saw that I said I was going to write the book. I was going to do the poem. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, like, when even you didn't see it. You didn't see it written down anywhere, so it was in your mind. So then you can push it back. But when you start seeing it in front of you, that is something that you got to be like, I need to go handle this. But, you know, so that's just one of the things I'm thinking about. So
wait, I need to make a disclaimer because somebody might hear that I help relieve stress. I call it full body. Or that I'm giving favors. No.
You're crazy.
This is across the screen, the board, the phone, and it is nothing. No, you ain't getting a show. Not that kind of thing.
All right. For me, I'm going to save you and I'm going to expound on the dream board real quick. With the dream board, the significance of it is the roadmap. It is a way, because think about it. What are you measuring? What are we measuring ourselves against? Life is full of experiences. So the dream board is the roadmap for you to look and say, okay, I accomplished these 2. Okay, now I got to get to these. Because when that dream board ends, you got to create another dream board.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a never ending thing, but it's the roadmap for you to measure yourself, because you can't measure yourself against other human beings because you're not them. So you have to say, well, okay, I got a dream board. I wanted to have a house in 2 years. Okay, I got the house in 2 years. I wanted to have a car in 6 months. I got a car in 6 months. So the dream board is very important because it's the analogy or the representation of instant gratification, because now I can look at this board with a big X through it and I accomplished that. Now I feel like I'm doing something with my life. But if you don't write it down, you can't measure, am I where I should be? I said in 2020 I was going to do this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and how close did I come to those things I did? So that's what the dream board is. It's right. It's accountability, but it's also a way to measure yourself. Have you been diligent? Have you been accomplishing the things that you want? Because it may not be A, B, C, D. You might get A done. You might do J. You might do K. It ain't necessarily all the way across the board, because certain things, the right person had to come. You had to get the right information. You had to bump in. Maybe you had to go on an excursion with AJ. Maybe you had to go to Egypt. Then you in Egypt and you get the epiphany. So it doesn't necessarily come the way you drew the vision board. The vision board is just a blueprint to say, hey, remember, you're working on this, you're working on that, you're working on this.
I agree. And it allows you to see at the end of the year, even if you put 15 things on there, you did 8 of them, when it gives you those moments, like you're saying, when we look and be like, 2020 sucked or 2019 sucked. And I don't know, what I remember, Naj, when I did that post, I did a post at the end of 2019, and I said, I could tell you about all the things that happened that I didn't want to happen, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, I can focus on that. But I did a list, and I think I got up to 30 amazing things that I did in 2019. But if you would have asked me, 2019 was a horrible year before I did that list. I was saying 2019 sucked, and I couldn't wait for 2020 because 2019 sucked. And then I did the list, and I was like, 2019 wasn't a bad year, not even a little bit. So it gives you that to say, yo, I may think I didn't do anything, but when you go back and look at all the things you checked off, you like, wait a minute, I got a lot done.
So for the non-vision boarder, a vision board could help you get out of procrastination. It's a tool to help you build, what's that word I want? Oh, it's just there.
Accountability.
Not even accountability. Something I don't have. Discipline.
Yes.
Discipline.
Right.
It also allows you, when you look back on it, there are things that you are grateful for. You know, so okay, I get it like that. And we all know, well, you don't know the world. I'm a procrastinator. Mm-hmm. And I'm not the most disciplined. I'm disciplined when I want to be, but most times, I don't want to be. So I'm all over the place. I'm a free floater, free spirit, call it, whatever. And I have like creative ADD and things. That's why the vision board is so hard for me, to take everything and harness it and direct it into one thing. It's very difficult for me. And I don't measure my successes on anyone else, which is why, real talk, I wasn't even really into money. I didn't care. I was like hippie chick type shit. I didn't care, right? Because I wasn't measuring what I have against. I figure if it's meant for me, it's meant for me. See, now I have a different mindset, because if it's meant for me, I'm going to have to go get it, because it's not like it's coming to me, right? And I understand that. And now I decide, okay, maybe I want some money. So maybe I need to work a little harder. And Joy knows my little achievements or wins, they're the same thing as big wins to me, because I don't measure, like success looks like all types of things, but it will allow me to really be mindful of what I'm doing, because there are years that I was like, what did I do? And I wasn't unhappy necessarily, but at the end of the day, you don't want to turn around and be 60 years old and be like, what you got? You got nothing.
Exactly.
It's not comparative. It's not comparing to other people. It's what do you have for yourself or what you need, or it's about self. So I do understand that. I'm going to, y'all hear me, I'm attempt to do a give me a weekly, something written weekly. I'm not gonna call it a board. I'm gonna write down some stuff and attempt to do it. And actually, I didn't tell anybody. I started that. I started the blog. I said I was gonna do one every day. I've been writing things. Now I haven't published all of them every day, but I'm moving towards it, because I gotta do something. We're still in lockdown. I ain't trying to go crazy with the rest of y'all. Trying to get it. Now, my boy guy hooked me up with some of these stones so I can shove them and under the bed. I know a lot of people who keep their stones under their beds only.
Or under their pillow. But sometimes you want to take that energy. Listen, as women in the community, sometimes you got to be a mom, sometimes you got to be a sister, sometimes you got to be a friend. And what these tools help is for you to be more effective in what you're doing day to day. Because you said something very powerful. You said it ain't about the money. And in actuality, you're absolutely right, because you only can take the things with you is your consciousness. So that dream board, it can be about material things, but it also can be about internal things.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the better you become, you're going to attract better people in your life. Yes, the old people from the past that was negative are going to come and knock. But when you begin to keep elevating your mind, when you don't get mad no more at the cashier in the grocery store, when you're not offended in the little triggers that used to trigger you from past relationships, it's not about what you achieve, it's what you overcome.
Right.
So as that's
I like
becoming
that.
better. Buying a house doesn't make you better. It's just it's a material thing that's external. The real jewels are the internal things. Everybody wants to be in love. Everybody wants these things. But are they willing to do the work? So the dream board can have more than just business goals. It can be financial, but I was speaking more or less internal. If I had abandonment issues growing up, then I don't want to be, in my older years and I still haven't overcome abandonment, because this abandonment may have been affecting my relationships from relationship, and not just in my romantic, me making friends. Maybe I'm not
Yeah.
making friends because I don't want this person to leave me. So now I'm still suffering for something I didn't overcome. And this whole self-healing is that. Because if we go into the narrative of our culture, we disenfranchised. Our women are attacked. Our men are killed. I mean, that's all over the news right now. So
Right.
Yeah.
we've got the worst traumatic situations that have happened to us that we're still trying to overcome. This is why the ancestors left us things like these stones, because the conventional stuff they have for us is just drugs. This white doctor he can't identify with me growing up in the community I had to and having the experiences I had to have. And it's not necessarily about color, it's about demographic. So how, when I sit down in his chair, how can he help me? He don't know what it's like to be pulled over by the police and put on the ground and all that other crazy stuff. So these stones and the reformation of your mind is what you got to detox from, because we walk around with prejudices. When you're born, they tell you your name. You don't know your name. They told you your name. The majority of things that we think is what somebody else told us. So
Right.
what you have to do is go deprogram all the prejudices you have in your mind and create a new narrative so that your mind can be renewed and not be stuck in the old. Because I may have dealt with somebody who drink Kool-Aid. So every time I see red Kool-Aid, it drives me into a conniption. So I have to get to the point where I can see red Kool-Aid, because I might get with another lady and she give me red Kool-Aid, and now I'm spazzing because I spazzed with Keisha when she drank the red Kool-Aid. And that's just me being, making it real simplified, but
Yeah.
it's very
No, it's
important.
true.
Eric
It's true.
said, "You don't have to believe everything you think," and that's
Yes.
what he told me.
I think I'm thinking about, like, when you said, like, putting them under your bed and just dealing with all the different energies and your vision board not being, I think a lot of times we don't even realize that we're dealing with childhood trauma. I don't know, everyone, I love this movie. It came out years and years ago. It's called Hope Floats, right? With Sandra Bullock, I think. And the
Okay.
mother said to her, she was like, your adulthood is spent getting over your childhood.
Yep.
Right? And I thought that was like the most poignant line of the whole movie. And I've quoted this movie how many times, but it's so true. We do spend our adulthoods, most of us, dealing with childhood trauma, dealing with, abandonment issues, dealing with anger issues, dealing with lack of love, dealing with molestation, dealing with any and everything from our childhood. And we are, as an adult, trying to still overcome it, still deal with it, still process it, still, heal from it. And it takes a smart person, I'm gonna say smart, to identify that they are dealing with abandonment and that they need to deal with it, that they're dealing with mommy issues. Because even women, men and women deal with mommy issues, just like men and women deal with daddy issues. And we don't talk about that. Father's Day is coming up, and that was supposed to be our big topic for next week, was dealing with mommy and daddy issues, right? Because a lot of us have mommy and or daddy issues, you know, and men try to act like, you know, they don't have mommy issues when they sit up there dating their mama, marrying their mama, and females dating and marrying their daddies.
Because they can hate their mama and go the complete opposite. I've seen men who can't stand themselves or can't stand black women, and I can only link that directly to their mothers. Like, why do such a horrible, you know, idea of black women? I'm thinking and looking. I'm sorry, right? So when I hear a man say he doesn't like black women, he doesn't like this, he doesn't like that, physical, mental, emotional, whatever it is, I only can ask myself, what are their mommy issues? Because they're happy.
And what are they daddy? You know, I hear it a lot, and I'm like, people have mommy and daddy issues, and it's not just the little girls. And I knew you were gonna say something. I want to say this real quick. It's not just the little girl who didn't have a father, and so now we are saying that the little girl is having daddy issues. It's also that little boy who didn't have a father, who have daddy issues, who don't know how to be a man, and it's all, you know, or who had mommy issues and don't know what a good woman looked like because they mama didn't, you know, love them or want to be around them. So it's both of us, or both, not both of us as far as us, but both male and female have mommy and daddy issues a lot of times, and we're not dealing with those issues and those energies, and we just keep jumping from relationship to relationship instead of realizing that we need to deal with it. Okay, Mo, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You want to say something, Naj?
Nah, I just threw it in. We're
what I was gonna say is that I believe that when it comes to the sexes in the black community, there's a lot of finger pointing. But we have to be more lenient with the sisters, and we have to be more lenient with the brothers, because at the same time, we're demonized, over-sexualized. It's been an attack on us, and we're trying to hold other parties accountable to a European type of lifestyle. And then when we don't flourish and live in that whole concept, now we're failures in relationship. But they need us to fail. Because in unison, we're gonna take over. You already had a Black Wall Street. Harlem was jumping. Anytime you take a collective of Black women and they work together, their businesses will thrive because of the energy and what they represent. So I think on both sides, that's what Jerry Springer's for. Jerry Springer and Maury, that is just to pretty much paint us and let white America see us as dysfunctional. But you're gonna be dysfunctional because we're trying to operate from a European standpoint. So now we're holding expectations of Black women to something that we shouldn't be holding them to,
right,
because we don't really know the damage that's been done. From the men's standpoint, yes, there's some bad women out there. Yes, there's some bad men out there as well. But I always say, you know, with the woman being the first teacher of the man, I'm not going to say that the majority of the responsibility falls on her, but we get lost because we're providers. We're out here like soldiers. So we're trying to survive in a European world or a European construct, but we're not even getting the same wages as the counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a part. I don't think that's part of the thing. All righty. So pretty much. So that's my dogs.
Where my dogs at?
Yeah, you see them?
what?
And it's two of them. They ain't even listening to Mama. Mama calling them. Yeah, so yeah, we need to be more lenient and have more patience, because there has been a lot of psychological damage done within our community. We've all been at that place where we would say, I'm sure you get a bunch of brothers on here, they got stories just like sisters got a bunch of stories, but collectively we kind of need to get away from that, and we need to find some solutions because, you know, you see what's going on. Even when the police killing a black man, that still was somebody's dad. That was still was somebody's son. And they doing it to the women too. The one woman got shot 18 times in her house in Texas. So we kind of got to get away from that materialism and get back to like family and loyalty. But, you know, like I said, there's work being done. That's why they got the sisters painted a certain way. You know, y'all not beautiful. You know, y'all not desirable. You know, that's why, you know, they getting work done. Women getting work done on themselves and things like this. So I take that into consideration. But at the same time, like I said, there has to be a collective or a narrative where the man can say, okay, I know you're dealing with these issues. I'm going to work with you. You know what I'm saying? I understand that you may have this, that, and the third. And then the same thing with the man, because they've done a lot to us. And they're still doing it. I mean, just think about our culture. Think about they take the parts they want and then taboo the rest.
Yeah.
And so now, guess what? Black men ain't nothing. Black women ain't nothing because they don't want us to reproduce. They don't want us to have families because they know it's a wrap once we come together.
Let me tell you, I don't know if you saw, I put a post on Facebook. They have all these towns in Spain as well, like in Spain and Belize, but in Georgia, like 2 villages or towns in Georgia, 1 in Michigan, 2 in Texas, and I stopped looking at the Texas, that are for sale for like 1.7 million, not, you know, 107 million, 1.7 million. And I'm like, I need some friends that's like, let's buy one of these villages is ours and just let it thrive and flourish. Who's ready to move and just start this project? Because our collective dollar is powerful. Our collective voice, and when we learn to use it, I think great things will really come out of it. And I'm praying and I'm speaking this every time that out of this, our collective grows. Out of this, we just keep growing. I mean, I look at our business. You know, the idea that we said when we are while traveling, we buy from local people,
right,
and handpick and bring it. And then we have taken a step further. We are partnering with like 3 women in Ghana, right, that would make handmade jewelry for us. It's keeping our dollars black, right? We made a conscientious decision. We did it in Brazil. We did it in South Africa, Sudan, Egypt, right? Now Ghana. Yep. And our dollar is just circulating. We are just circulating our dollar. And we are so strict on this that it's important, and people don't realize how powerful we are, how our energy together. You talking about energy. Imagine our positive energy when we get together as a collective.
Right.
I think it would just feed and just grow and just, you know, that energy, it would be like a true force field around us.
That's really going to be what shapes what happens next. You know, we are connected right now with, I'm sorry to say, pain. That's a negative energy, anger, things like that. Are we going to be able to transition into a restorative? Are we going to be able to turn that into something that's positive and and then fruitful and able to go? Because if we can do that, we can do anything. Anything is possible.
I think that energy, I think that transfer of energy is right where it's at. I really, you know, that's where I'm praying and hoping where we're walking towards. I'm hoping we are walking towards a transferring of energy and having each other's back, not just because as black women, we always have black men's back, right? We're always speaking up. We always standing in. We will stand in front of the police to protect our black men. You know, we will always do that. But I want to see now it as both. We are protecting a black man as much as a black man is protecting us. And together with that energy, it just grows, you know. And that's where I'm at with this. When we talked about energy and having a black man talk about energy, is I want to see our energy just transform and grow. And I don't know.
It is, because It is, because that's what we're not considering. We're not considering the trauma that this sister may have went to an all-white school and had to deal with racism for, pre-K through whatever. So that's why we have to give each other that room, that space. Nobody's perfect. It's definitely not our culture, because they're attacking us on a consistent basis. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got to be more lenient. You got to be more compassionate. You do. Don't be no fool, y'all. Don't be no fool now. But you kind of
Don't be
got to
no
give a little
fool.
bit of leniency, just a little bit, maybe
We
this much.
love. You can speak love and not just speak the word, but teach the action without being passive. You don't have to love and be passive. You don't have to love and allow yourself to be. Oppression and love, they don't go hand in hand. You understand?
I
So
agree.
we teach our children to be passionate about these things, and that love is going to pull us out of it. People think love is soft. Love is soft. Love is weak. Love is passive. It is not. Listen.
Remember, and I don't know, I said this to Mo.
And I've always said it. Love is work. That's
Yes. Listen, I said this to Mama before she passed away. I said, and I was talking to her and her generation. I said, you all did us the biggest disservice. I said, you let us see Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and all these things, right? And you made it seem like once I said, I love you, that was it. Like
right.
Everything was golden. I love you. And the relationship worked for 90 years, right? I was like, the easiest thing is to say, I love you. Is what happens after you say, I love you, right? What actions do you put into? What are you doing? So, all these people who I love Black people, that's easy to say. Like we getting all these emails and everything is, Black Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter, from all these people sending these, Facebook got the black out and Black Lives Matter. We getting these emails. That's easy to me. It's easy to say that. It's easy to put that on a black screen and put those three letters, right? And send that out. What are your actions? Love is an action word.
And we can't listen. I do think that we need our less melanated counterparts to partake in this, but we cannot look to them to teach us how to love ourselves and come together. They are not going to be the ones. They will only change their mind. A Black person can never change a white person's mind. They do not pay any attention to us. They don't give a damn. I don't even care if it's Martin Luther King Jr. They act like he's Jesus' twin brother. No. A white person listens to a white person. The problem is Black people listen to white people. Like they got all the answers. They can't heal us. They can heal them. We have to do that for ourselves.
That's why I keep telling people, a savior is not coming. If we are expecting a savior to come, we are the savior.
Yeah, white Jesus not coming to save us, homie. This Bobo not coming to save us. No, no siree.
Nope.
Yeah.
So.
Now the powerful thing about that, what she said, is the reason nobody's coming to save us, because we have all the tools that we need to save ourselves.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. We do, and that's why I said. They are not coming to save us. Stop playing with me. See, it's time for us. It's time to put on your boots, put on your Timbs. Let's get to work. Let's put this work in. So yeah, I love the talking about negative and positive energy, and I love how you said that men feed the woman's energy, and we multiply it.
That's exactly what it is.
Little tips to change your energy if you don't have a chance to go buy crystals or what have you. I mean, little things like rearranging your room. Little color therapy is real. Like you said, the amethyst, third eye, that's the same thing, painting something purple or even paint a picture purple. Like real talk, wear the color. All of that, you absorb it all. It all affects your psyche. So it's sense. Sense do the same thing. You understand? Elements like air, water, things like that. There are other ways to rearrange.
You're right. I mean, let's think about it. When it's wintertime, people get so depressed because there's no sun. They can't get outside because it changes your mood. It changes your energy. So all of these things changes energy. So you have to realize when your energy, the other thing is realizing when your energy is changing.
Right. And that's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. Just be aware.
Mo, how many, when is the last time you realized your energy changed?
That's kind of a hard question for me because I do some work on a daily basis.
Okay.
I pay attention to the moon cycles. I consistently try to remove things from my mental that no longer serve me.
Mm.
I try to remove relationships that no longer serve me because some people just come in your life for a season.
Right.
Sometimes we want to
Yep.
hold on to things, and I'm not even talking from a romantic. I'm talking like associates. You know, this guy may have come into my life to tell me 3 things, and he moves on. But the way I can tell when my energy shifts or or I'm not in a good place, I'm not productive. I'm not
Okay.
productive. I don't have any tangible things that came from my mind that manifested to the physical. Because when we go to work with somebody else, you're in their reality. So that's just like you. If you're not taking trips with your people, that's not your ideology materializing into the physical world. And
Right.
this is the whole concept of it. Because remember, when we talk about energy, you can project as well. You can
That's
project love. You can project hate. So it's whatever you're projecting, whatever you put out, you're gonna get back. So I
Okay.
said this to one guy. You want to start your life from a negative polarity because there's only one way to go, is up. So
Mm.
that's the analogy that people born rich with a spoon in their mouth, they don't appreciate anything because they don't know the other side. They don't understand the poverty. They don't understand the financial destitution.
mm,
So with us coming from the communities we came from, it's set up like that on purpose by the creator so that we can rise like that tattoo, like the phoenix from the ashes. So you're gonna start out with the generational curses. You're gonna start out with the childhood traumas. Because if you're here, your purpose is to break those generational curses. A lot of times we become what our parents wasn't. So if you had a parent that didn't show you love, you'd probably be the biggest lover on the planet, and vice versa. It can work one of 2 ways.
yeah.
But the majority of the time, our ancestors are supposed to be setting the way for us, and unfortunately, because of the system and the way it is, they weren't able to do that. We could talk about the black woman back in the 50s and 60s, and you saw Color Purple getting beat on the farm and not having a voice. Well, guess what? 2020, black women are making strides, but we just need that balance because you need
Yeah.
that. You can't have a king without a queen, and every king comes from a queen. Did
That,
y'all get that right there?
Yep.
So it's just like in the Bible. Eve ate the apple first. That lets you know who woke up first. Who woke up first? It's the person. And then she said, Adam, take this. He was like, okay. So bitch assness has been around for a long time. He was supposed to say, no, woman, God told us don't eat. He was like, okay, baby, I love you. He's like, because he's like, I want to hit that later. Come on, give me the fruit. I take the fruit. And then when God came, he was like, it was her. Her did it. She did it. Her
Her
did it.
did it. Her
Right,
did it. I
right,
love
right.
it.
Right. So pretty much like I said, the whole narrative of it is I'm not saying that every woman's supposed to be on the pedestal. I'm not saying every man is supposed to be on the pedestal. All I'm saying is that we need to stop making future relationships suffer for the bad people that we've already encountered. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of putting your time in. You gotta go through it to get to it. So guess what? If your life sucked, the next half's supposed to be beautiful. It's just taking
Exactly.
time to slide into that and ride that wave. So if the first half sucked, guess what? Good news for you. The second half is going to be beautiful. The things you want is coming, but you got to go through the crap because you got to put your time in. You got to show, hey, listen, I don't care, creator, how many times my heart get broken. I'm still going to love. If the next person hurt me, that's their loss. I'm still going to love. Some people say
Yep.
that's foolish, but love is an intelligence that you can't manipulate. Love will make you make me a sandwich, but love will make you kill me if I mess with your child. You see the narrative like that? So it's very powerful. It's
It
good
is.
and it could be bad too. So we all talk about this narrative, but like I'm gonna say, all you listeners out there watching, men and women, we need to be more lenient and more patient within our culture because this COVID, this little thing with Floyd getting killed, it is showing you that we have a bigger war going on outside besides the one we got between the black woman and the black man, because that's how they're able to conquer us, is since they divide us. That's a fact.
Yep. I totally agree. Black power, right? So this has been a great, right? This has been like a bomb conversation on a beautiful June. We are in June, almost summer, 70-degree weather day. I don't know if y'all can see behind me. Bam. So there goes some of our jewelry that we have up on villagevibes.com. I just wanted you to see. So I'm in the boutique store of our office doing the Zoom. So I have nothing else to ask or say. Naj, do you?
I don't. I'm not really. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna go work on me. I'm gonna do that.
We all gonna work on ourselves. You ain't alone.
Hey,
We
boy.
all got work to do.
You see, I'm not looking at. You see, I'm not saying, "Oh, I'm perfect," because I know it's a whole bunch of things. Like right now, I'm working on, ladies and gentlemen, my credit and my financial. When I say I got myself in a huge trouble that now I have to get myself out of. So that is my goal, is to save, because I can't save 5 cents. Okay, you give me 5 cents and I get 5 more cents. I'm spending the 10 cent. Right now I'm shopping. Like if we gotta get off Zoom because I don't even want her to see all the packages that's coming to the house, because Amazon is coming today, baby. Okay, but and that's my issue. That is, I finally, and I say it in a playful manner, normally, but that is what I'm working on. I need to work on not spending, not shopping, to the point where I have debated, and I think I'm about to cut up over half of my cars so I won't use them.
Right.
That's like where I'm at with it. I'm about to literally today or tomorrow cut up some cars, because just taking them out my wallet and putting them up is not working. So that's what I'm working on, because
Joy and I have the same issue. We're not spending, but the same working, getting our finances together. This has been an albatross around our neck for the longest, for different reasons. So
yes, so this is it's going down. Like I had to, and I told her, I had to literally ask myself, do I want a bed and breakfast, or do I want to shop? And the reality is, I want a bed and breakfast.
And my only regret is that I wasn't more financially aware. Like my biggest hurdle is my financial immaturity, honestly. Like that's the one thing that's ever held me back, has been money. Other than that, I feel like I'm moving, and so I'm getting together. We gonna be right soon. We're gonna be right.
So look, I tell you, and I'm going to keep saying this. I will you all will be staying at my bed and breakfast, okay? Because it's coming, okay? So by the way, I got some trips coming. So next week we'll tell you about what's coming up for 2021. So get your coins right and come see your sister. But I think Mo, what do you have going on or coming up that you want to share? Like, I love your shea butter, by the way. Mo makes the bomb shea butter. I just need y'all to know. Like, I wish I could see my skin right now. You see this glow? Y'all see this?
Shea butter, baby.
You look, right? So y'all need to go see A Kiss of Venus. Go see Mo. And we'll tag him so you can go get his shea butter, because it is bomb. And once again, it's a black product. Keeping my dollars black.
Your green black.
I appreciate the love, the support. I appreciate the fact that y'all sisters are even out here doing this podcast and you actually tackling real issues that actually affect our community. I think it's very powerful, and the fact that we was able to have a dialogue and it wasn't that back and forth. Like I wasn't about to get on here and bash the sisters and say, because y'all been through a lot, and the brothers is going through it too. So we need to just, like I said, collectively come together. It's awesome. I'm promoting your business. You're promoting my business. We need more of this, not just in this town, but everywhere.
Right.
I agree.
We got to broaden our horizon. We got to be able to connect with the brothers in Detroit and the people all over the world, because the community here where we are is not big enough. Our numbers are not big enough. But we can still do some damage on the front. But like I said, I appreciate what you sisters are doing. And like I said, once again, listeners, patience. Oh, also we're going into a Mercury retrograde. I can't remember.
What's
Y'all look
that?
that up. I don't know the dates. Y'all look that up. But the communication's gonna be bad. Your electrical device is gonna be acting crazy, like your phone gonna act crazy. When you try to communicate with people, they're gonna be real edgy, and a lot of relationships will be lost. A lot of relationships will be lost because it's technically like a cleansing of the planet. Like, you know, wintertime kills everything. The Mercury retrograde helps for you to eliminate the things from your life that's no longer there. And you're supposed to sit still and meditate on yourself. Go ahead.
What happened? I have a question. I would say that there's something going on with my magnetic force, because I have a tendency to fry or screw up cell phones. All types of things don't work around me properly. And that's not a joke. That's for real. Like, just a hot mess with everything. Do you have any idea of anything I can do for that? I don't know if that's me or something that's somebody around me, something that's I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I think that should be addressed not on this forum. That's the next show. Don't give them too much. But there is some things, like I said, I can share with you. Like when y'all talked about the finances, we could talk about eliminating debt. We could talking about creating businesses and applying for business credit, LLCs. I mean, that's just not this forum, but we're definitely gonna chop that up later on tonight. So if y'all want to set up another show, we can go in on finances as well.
Hey, look at this. So, look,
so we have this year, Joy, you and I, when we hear the F word, the F bomb, finance, we are not going to be afraid. Black people, we are not going to be afraid. There is so much fear associated with money,
it is
finance, and credit. We're not happy.
We are going to set ourselves up, because a finance person told me this. He was like, come next year this time, there are going to be so many opportunities, because unfortunately there's going to be so many people who have lost their job, lost their home, and they're trying to sell cars and everything, and there are going to be tremendous deals out there. So we need to get ourselves situated and prepared and in a place that we can take advantage of these deals that's coming up. So that's what our goal, ladies and gentlemen who's watching this, that we have homework to do and we have things to do, because we want to be in the place we want to be ready in place. So when it happens, we can just go forward and conquer, right? So that's what we're going to do. So for me, I say thank you, Mo, for coming. Thank you for being a part of Village Vibes. Thank you for coming into our village and letting us like just crash down other people's villages. So it takes a village, right? It takes a village. We are the village.
Yes.
Peace and love. Cordia.
Peace.